Woo, dude, I am stoked. So what you're about to see here in the next few minutes is literally, I'm like editing this for you right now, and I did not expect to see the results that you're gonna get. You're literally gonna see, not only the one exercise and the 3 secret tricks that like really kind of like took me and catapulted everything. I did this thing where like in less than about 13.2 minutes of actual work burned over 1,200 calories. Yes, and then not only that, by the end of this video, you're also gonna have like the links and the science and actually someone way better qualified than me to actually explain it to you. So I definitely don't want to take anything away from that. But the cool thing about it, let me give you the gold right now, because this one single trick that I applied to walking, okay, is literally like the same trick that you probably see people using in like a Zumba class. I go to this gym where they do it like stick dancing, like little 2-pound weights and stuff like that. Anybody can do this trick, all right? So anyways, I just want to, let's just get right to it. Here you go. Hey, it's Davis, and if you're looking for an exercise that you can do at your own pace that not only like drives down blood sugar, burns a bunch of fat, burns a bunch of calories, and even improves your insulin resistance that you can do at your own pace, I'm gonna show you that one exercise and how and the 3 big secrets that I used to completely catapult my transformation. Okay, so let's get right to the juice, okay? So basically this all started back, I think in like 2011, when we did one of these weight loss challenges in the office, right? And everyone put 20 bucks in, and then whoever got the, whoever lost the most weight would get the money out. The problem is that at the time I was like super morbidly obese, and I couldn't really work out a lot. Okay, so long story short, I went looking around on Facebook or on YouTube looking for answers, and I ended up finding this video, okay, where it was this lady and this guy, and I'll actually put a link in the video right now, where they did 4 minutes of exercise, like between 3 and 5 minutes of exercise, and they were able to spike fat burning for up to 3 days. It's named after a Japanese scientist by the name of Tabata. We all now know it as HIIT, okay? And long story short, we would go up for like lunch and stuff like that, all these people in the office and stuff, and I remember looking at this guy named Tommy, and we were going out for lunch one day, and he's holding on the oh crap handle, right? And he's got his arm up, and dude, like, he's got these biceps the size of like, baseballs, or I mean softballs, and I'm like, dude, I can't, there's no way that I can even compete with that. So long story short, I end up doing this exercise, right? And the cool thing about the exercise is that not only does it spike fat burning, it happens that way because it spikes the metabolism, okay? So long story short, here's what I did. It's like a 3 to 4 minute workout or whatever, and I would basically do it before every single meal. I did it when I would walk into the office, as goofy as it sounds, before I had breakfast, because I would normally eat at work. I would close my office door and I would just do like these exercises in the office, and it's super funny because we had like these thin walls and stuff like that, and you can hear me like bouncing around for like 3 to 4 minutes. I would do it before lunch, I would do it before before breakfast, and I would obviously do it before dinner. The funny thing about that is that I started crushing almost every single time. Like I think out of like 10 weigh-ins, I think I took everyone's money like 8 times, okay? And it's funny because towards the end, Josh actually calls me, the owner of the company calls me out, and he's like, D, I know that you're taking fat loss pills. The truth of the matter is like, I was not taking fat loss pills. However, what he was thinking was 100% correct, okay? Because a lot of these fat loss pills spike metabolism, that's exactly what I was doing, but I was only doing it with like 3 to 4 minutes worth of work. Fast forward, obviously that completely, just went over, and long story short, I ended up putting all the weight back on like a goofball, got into smoking a bunch of cigarettes, and I needed to turn everything around. The problem is that there's no way I could work out whatsoever. So I just barely started doing the same thing again. However, I just applied it to walking, okay? So let's get right into that, okay? So the number one exercise that really kind of helped me with everything, and I'm gonna show you how to do it right now, is actually walking. However, it's just these couple of secret tricks that I add to it. We all know, I think, as type 2 diabetics, that walking, as goofy as it sounds, is probably gonna be one of the most vital and most powerful exercises that we can do, simply because it allows us to do it at our own pace. We can drive blood sugar down very easily without a lot of hard work. You'd be amazed if you've ever tested blood sugar throughout, like before and after a walk, especially if, depending on how you start to turn things up. So let me go ahead and give you now the 3 big secrets, okay? Okay. So number 1 is I started walking to a timer. The same thing that we were doing with the whole Tabata and the HIIT thing, okay? Now there's an app that you can get, it's called Interval Timer. I think they have free versions of it. If you wanna get, Baller or whatever, it's $2.99, okay? So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you right now how to do it. And the beautiful thing about it is that it allows us to grow at our own pace, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whip out my phone and we're gonna do this together. 5 minutes, okay, here we go. So, all I'm gonna do, okay, here's how simple it is, okay? All I'm gonna do is I'm going to, and I just started it right now. All I'm gonna do is I'm literally going to walk and I'm barely gonna turn it up, okay? That's exactly all I did. I turned it up like 5, 10, 15, 20%. Whoops, there we go. Okay, super, all right? So, I'm gonna turn it up and I'm gonna go for about 20 seconds, okay? The timer, the way that I have it set up right now, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, okay? So I'm turning it up about a good 10, 15%, all right? And then we're gonna basically take it, at our own pace, okay? At the time when I started doing this, I was smoking a bunch of cigarettes every day. So if you were to tell me back then, morbidly obese, okay, there we go. So the timer just went off, chill for 10 seconds, okay? So if you would have told me back then that, hey, Davis, you have to run these crazy distances, or you had to, spike your heart rate at over 80% or whatever. Back then I couldn't do it, okay? So this is how I grew up to it, okay? And the beautiful part about that is when we look at, and here's what really helps us as type 2 diabetics, okay? I found a case study, and I'll link it below if you want to read it too as well. I highly recommend that you do, if you're into this type of stuff, or if you really just want to be empowered more than anything, is a case study, just went off again, is a case study by a gentleman by the name of Stephen Boucher, okay? And what he did is he took type 2 diabetics, here we go. He took type 2 diabetics and he did this Tabata protocol for 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes, 3 times a week. And I remember reading this case study and I'm like, wait a minute here. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I went to 3rd grade, and I'm like, 3 times 3, that's 9. I was like, wait a minute, 9 minutes of exercise for an entire week? And what he found was amazing. There we go, just went off again. What he found was amazing, that they spiked their insulin sensitivity for 72 hours. And I was like, wait a minute, dude, I'm like, 3 minutes of exercise? 3 days of insulin sensitivity increase? This is crazy. I'm like, okay, yeah, count me in, right? Long story short, I started doing this more and more. And just like you're seeing here, I'm gonna start turning it up just a little bit, okay? Because here's basically what happened, okay? My walks turned into a power walk. That turned into a jog. That then turned into a little bit of faster jog. There we go, okay? Boom, kind of bringing it down, timer just went off. That went into a faster jog. That faster jog eventually got me to running, okay? Here we go, so I'm gonna do a little bit more of a slight jog / run, okay? So, what ended up happening is this, okay? I started, one day I did this workout and I went home, and next thing you know, I couldn't help but notice I totally forgot to turn I had this heart rate monitor, and I forgot to turn the heart rate monitor off. And next thing you know, I found out I had this huge long tail effect. And I actually stopped prematurely, sorry about that. I had this huge long tail effect, and I was like, dude, wait a minute here, how did that happen? And I ended up burning all these crazy calories I wasn't asking for, which I was like, dude, this is awesome. Just to find out that it's called the Epoc Effect. EPOC, and it is the foundation and the huge reason why that a company by the name of Orange Fitness is doing extremely well. And what I'll do is I'll put another link to them where the owner of the franchise actually talks and explains the scientific reasoning behind it. Basically, all we're doing is when we drive our heart rate up in these patterns, what it does is it causes a long tail effect where the body is now trying to make up for it, okay? And so basically that's it. Okay, so that's huge for burning a bunch of calories, because what I'm gonna do here shortly is I'm gonna show you how I burn a bunch of calories doing that as well. I'm gonna show you one of my heart rate graphs, okay? Okay, so we're real quick, just so it's not all super shaky. Here's the other part, is tip number 2 is to start to incorporate other exercises, okay? And here's what I mean. When I first started doing this, it was the walks that allowed me to start to like build confidence, build momentum. It allowed me to just kind of be myself. The biggest thing, I think, more than anything that I hope that you get out of this, is with the whole walking thing, a big part of it is almost meditative in that there's nobody judging us. It's just us judging ourselves. And allows us to put ourselves in a place where we can, like, all the goofy stuff inside of our brain, it allows us to now like call it out and like maybe let just like the layers of the onion unfold. Depending on where you are. Sometimes like some of my best ideas come when the oxygen and blood hit my brain. Feels phenomenally well, right? That was 5 minutes, okay? Not bad, right? That's how I started. I literally started by doing it 5 minutes. 5 minutes became 10 minutes, or 7 minutes, and 7 minutes became 10, 15, 20, or whatever, okay? Then what I started to do, once I actually got somewhat comfortable, is I started to incorporate other exercises. So let me show you what that looks like right now.
Activity completed.
Here's what I started to do. I basically started to do like air squats, real simple stuff, like leg lifts and butt kickers. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. Here we go, okay? Okay, so for 20 seconds, here's all I would do. I would literally stop and I would be at a park and would go like this. Boom, okay? Simple leg lifts, okay? I would do this for 20 seconds, right? Then I would do another version, kind of like the butt kickers, right? Kind of like this. Okay, just kick my own butt, okay? And I'm gonna show you how this transforms, okay? Boom, super simple, right? And then I would do something like air squats, okay? I would literally, I'm sweating, so I would literally do something like this. Obviously you can move your arms if you like, right? Boom, right? Super simple, right? Another version of it, you can do super simple. Keep your arms down. It really helps with posture. Keep your arms down, chest up, shoulders back, nice and relaxed, right? Hands down, almost like you're carrying 2 milk jugs, okay? You don't have to do any weight with it whatsoever. You just kind of come down, come up, okay? Use the hips, okay? One of the biggest secrets, I'll tell you right now, hands down, one of the biggest secrets that I've ever used to burn a bunch of fat and burn a bunch, drive calories down and drive that insulin resistance up, or that insulin sensitivity up, right? Is by using 2 secret things, okay? What you'll find is that if you're anything like me, you've done like all these different workout videos. What I found on YouTube is that the biggest muscle, okay, the biggest muscle is our glutes, our butt cheeks, right? And the biggest muscle group are our quads, right? The front of the ham right here, right? So if we want to burn the most amount of calories, the most amount of fat or whatever, one of the easiest ways to do it is to use the big guns, right? Just to use the biggest muscle groups. Why? Because we can do one simple move and we've got the biggest engines working for us, okay? So that's it. So basically, once I started doing these squats, I started doing, like these butt kickers and stuff like that. That's what kind of gave me the, the confidence to do stuff like jumping jacks, do like mountain climbers, do all this other stuff, okay? Once I started to grow from there, okay, that's when I started to apply it to other exercises, and I'll tell you the other secret to that right now. So secret to number 2 is to simply start with exercises that you enjoy, okay? Only find things that you absolutely love, and then that way you're not doing some weird, thing that you hate. You know what I'm saying? Simply play the game a little bit smarter by saying, hey, look, like play with different exercises, have fun with it, and then go out and just try different things. Some things stick, some things don't. No worries, right? Again, no judgments here. If we're all by ourselves, the only person judging us is ourselves, and that's what allows us to kind of like make peace and kind of like move forward with any of that stuff, okay? The other part of that is, here, I actually try to be professional. I try to make some notes. So let me make sure that I'm giving you everything that I promised I would give you when I first, yes. Okay, here we go, dude. Huge secret number 3, okay? Secret number 3 looks like this, okay? And here's what it is, okay? I want to give you some resources too, okay? It's nasal breathing, okay? If there was one small trick that somebody could give me, along with this one exercise that would like skyrocket everything, that's super simple, that anybody could do. In fact, I'm gonna show you just how devastatingly effective all of this stuff is when you grow at your own pace, when you have fun with it, and when you just allow yourself to be you. Okay, here we go. So this, the third thing is nasal breathing. Okay, now if you are familiar with keto or paleo, you probably know the work of Dr. Mark Sisson. Okay, that's where I got this stuff from. If you don't know his story, he's long distance guy. He's an athlete, and essentially what he found in him being able to go long distances, originally a marathon runner, was a huge part of it was nasal breathing. Okay, so here's how I like to do it. This is good old-fashioned box breathing. I'm going to show you that way first. Okay, so real simple. They call it box breathing because it's basically a 4-count breath. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to plug one nostril. Okay, I'm going to inhale on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch the nostrils and then do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you are used to keto, you probably already know this if you've ever tried, because obviously keto is very, very popular for a lot of athletes because of the fat burning effect, right? Endurance athletes especially, okay? And that's where I kind of got that from, because dude, like that little shortcut helped me. The beautiful thing about it is you don't have to be doing keto to get a lot out of it. Obviously, you're doing keto, it'll probably skyrocket your results. However, you can skyrocket your results using it, in general, and here's why, okay? And some other resources, let me give you 2 other ones, okay? One of them is called, is a gentleman by the name of Brian McKenzie, okay, Power Speed Endurance, and another gentleman is Laird Hamilton, okay, XPT, okay? So anyways, here's how and why this is so effective, okay? Well, actually, I can't really get into the science because there's just way too much to give there. However, here's really the secret to it all, okay? The real big secret is that when we start to box breathe through the nose, it allows our body to recover. When we start to train ourselves just a little bit over time, it allows our body to recover that much faster over time, like crazy fast, okay? And that, more than anything, is the secret. I remember being completely enamored a few years back. There was this professional fighter by the name of Rich Franklin. He was actually a teacher, and he actually gave up his teaching job to pursue his dream of fighting. And what he would do is he would literally go on a treadmill, and he would drive his heart rate through the roof, and then he would stop, sit on a chair, and then he would just wait until his heart rate came back down, and he would do that over and over and over in order to actually train his heart to recover faster, okay? And the reason why is because he said, hey, look, if I can recover faster between rounds, I have more gas that would take him, into the later rounds if it was a tougher fight or whatever. And I'm like, well, I want that trick, right? Here's a wonderful way to do it without beating myself up on a treadmill, okay? And here's how and why this is so devastatingly effective. What I'm going to show you here in another in a clip is that I'm able to use the same thing. So whenever I go like, these different, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, I'm able to go harder and harder and harder in these later rounds, right? And the reason why is because I've done nothing but completely drop my heart rate as fast as possible. In fact, if you saw day 1 of the daily transformation video series, you'll notice if you look at my heart graph, it drops extremely fast. okay? Like, I'm not doing that because I'm cool. I'm literally doing that because I've done box breathing for a little bit, and this is something that anybody could do, okay? So let's do it together, okay? So as you're walking, you could do this as you're walking, you could do this sitting still. I'm actually gonna make another video where I actually show people how I drop blood pressure in 5 minutes. So if you have high blood pressure, you can also use this there as well, okay? So here we go, okay? Here it is. As I'm walking here, I'll just do this right now, head back to the car. Because what I also want to do is I want to make you another video, or actually show you in this video, where I'm going to show you all these pieces put together. Okay, here we go. 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold. Here we go. And that is it. Literally that simple, okay? That simple. So just to kind of like put pencil to paper, let me show you just how and where. Like, if you wanted one single, like, microscopic, anybody could do it trick that'll pay you like dividends, okay? In the end, oh my goodness, it's literally the difference between someone swinging a dull axe and taking like 5 minutes to sharpen the axe, and putting somebody out to work in the field for like 12 hours, okay? Like, the guy with the dull axe, like, God bless their heart, but they're probably gonna break themselves for no reason. With the guy with the razor sharp axe, just by taking a few minutes in the beginning to sharpen the axe, night and day difference. That's something that I absolutely wish somebody would have told me, and so now that is why I'm telling you. So, high five. Okay, so here is the secret behind it all. Basically, it's that huge long tail effect. You see how, like, after the workout, that basically my heart rate kind of comes down and just bounces around or whatever, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's where I burn all these crazy calories. The crazy part about it is that I only did 4 5-minute rounds. The crazy thing is that those 5-minute rounds aren't even a whole 5 minutes, right? Because I'm only doing like 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That means like 66% of the actual, minute is what I'm actually working. Now check this part out. 1,210 calories for 5-minute rounds where I only really worked out 13.2 minutes, okay? And by the time my heart rate got back to 0, 1,210 calories. And this was a few hours later. What was that? 2 hours, 22 minutes and 31 seconds. Crazy, right? I was just about to publish this and I was thinking like, you know what? Someone might see this and be like, Davis, there's no way that, you can ever do this, or you're doing this, or you're burning all these crazy calories because, like, look at the way you look right now. And you know what? I see how that just might be plausible. So let me show you this. So what I did is I dug my old phone out, right? This is my old iPhone 6 or whatever. And this is December 2016, okay? Just under 3 years ago, okay? And here's one of the workouts that I did that I had recorded for 1 hour, 23 minutes and 37 seconds, okay? So let's check this out. Okay, so here's, you can obviously see it's not just 2 5-minute rounds. That would be like awesome if I did that. That is the entire, okay, hold on, let's just squeeze one more time. Make sure you can see everything, right? Squeeze. Okay, that's everything. Okay, so here we go. So we did 3 5-minute rounds, okay? And so basically, they come up, they come down. They do look a little wider when you look here. And to be totally honest, that was because I was not in the shape, that I'm in now. And obviously it kind of took my body a lot longer to recover. Okay, obviously I wasn't doing those nasal exercises, or if I was, obviously you can definitely tell, especially with all this jumping around over here, that my body wasn't able to recover, which sounds kind of like a bad thing, but honestly that's a good thing, because let's take a look at the math, okay? So if I did a 5-minute round here, a 5-minute round here, I took a long break, okay? It's chilling, okay? It's chilling. And then I did another 5-minute round. Okay, so that is 3 5-minute rounds. That's 15 minutes. But keep in mind, it's not even 15 minutes of actual work, right? Because I'm only doing 10 seconds off, or 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The bummer part is, maybe this is a bit premature too, is like you can actually see how my body is still trying to like recover or whatever. I really would have wished I let this thing go on forever to wait till it got at least back down to 90. Right? The way that I like to look at this is like, hey, if I start at 90, which obviously you can definitely tell my heart rate was a lot higher back then from a resting standpoint, right? Higher blood pressure, higher blood sugar, obviously it was a lot bigger back then. If I started at 80 and waited until I got back down to 80, man, I can only imagine just how much better that number would have actually been when I was way, way bigger. So I hope that inspires you. So I absolutely hope that you absolutely, enjoyed that. I mean, here's the deal, okay? By no means am I some special guy, to be totally honest. It all happened by accident. All I did one day is I had this heart rate monitor app, right? My son and I, we were like playing with all these different exercises, and goofball me, I totally forgot to turn it off, okay? I totally forget to turn it off. I get home, I look at the app, and I had this huge long tail effect where like my body was like burning all these crazy calories, right? And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, I'm sitting on the couch. By this time, I literally just was at home, sitting on the couch. I'm looking at my phone like, dude, I stopped working out a while ago. I'm literally sitting on my cheeks and like, I'm still burning these crazy calories. For the longest time, I called it the long tail effect because I didn't know like this was even a real thing, right? And then later on down the line, like I ended up finding out, about Orange Theory Fitness. Naturally, it is a national chain. This is like the reasoning behind their success, right? I totally felt like a village idiot, right? Like imagine me walking into someone's town and being like, wow, I found this place that looks like it's right out of the 50s. They got all these shops and all these restaurants and it's super eclectic. And you see like where the new and the old meet and how it comes together and it's so full of culture and flavor and da-da-da-da. And people are just like, yeah, Davis, that's called Main Street. It's been here since they, created the city, right? Like that's literally how I felt, okay? But yeah, that's the cool thing, right? Like anybody can do this. It really is just that simple. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Play with it to your heart's content. Again, I literally started doing this with a walk, then a jog, like a power walk, not even a jog, a power walk. That power walk became a jog. That became a little bit of a light run, right? That little bit of a light run, a little bit became like running. I'll tell you right now, that's literally how I went from not really being able to run and smoking cigarettes to really being able to run my first half marathon fasted, right? Which is why I'm so big on the breathing thing, okay? At the same time, all I really did is I just started incorporating other exercises. This can be used from anything from like, swimming, dancing. Again, they at the gym that I'm at, they do this like stick dancing thing for the ladies, right? And they have like these little 2-pound weights and they do it with a timer. Super simple, these little steps or whatever. No worries. Literally 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. play with different exercises and enjoy the process, right? Literally find what works for you, embrace it, have fun with it. That way you're not doing some weird workout. You're only doing things that you enjoy. Let that grow at your own pace. And then before you know it, you're off like a zenith. Anyway, on to the next. If you think that any of this, by all means, inspires you, helps you, go ahead and click and subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell notification. That way you can get love instantly and be one of the first to see it as I release it. At the same time, if you want a 21-day blood sugar challenge, I'm giving it away for free. What I'm going to do is I'm literally going to be sharing people step by step all the tips, the tricks, and the strategies that I've personally used to literally go from being like morbidly obese, being the token fat kid since the age of 9, the pun of the fat jokes, super low self-esteem, having a really bad, had these bad like issues with emotional and irrational eating and a really bad relationship with food in general. Basically, failing every diet led to me being type 2 diabetic, morbidly obese, okay? And then next thing you know, I was told by my provider that I was about 12 months away from starting dialysis. What I'm literally gonna show in this 21-day free, absolutely free blood sugar challenge is literally all the little tips, tricks, and strategies that I've used to go from doing that, okay, to literally turning everything around, controlling my blood sugar, eating the foods that I love 100% drug-free. And you'll also see how I lost my first 75 pounds without any drugs, exercise, or any hardcore dieting whatsoever. And I'll tell you right now, look, again, whether you're fighting for yourself, the people that you love, or what you believe in, know right now that you are not alone. As long as I'm alive, you absolutely have a cheerleader, because I sincerely believe the faster we lift one another up and help one another out, the faster we're saving lives. The faster we're saving lives, the faster we're saving families, and the faster we're saving families, the faster we change the world together. So have a wonderful day. Go ahead and check that. You can check out that free 21-day blood sugar challenge at lifeovertype2.com. It'll be on the header there. It's 100% free, and it's my honor to give it to you. I hope you have an awesome day. See you in the next one. Later.